The first message didn't look like a warning. It looked like spam with punctuation. Unknown. You don't know me, but you need to check where your husband actually is on Thursdays. No greeting. No threat. No demand. Just a scheduling suggestion, which made it more interesting, not less. I didn't reply. People who open with mystery are either unstable or informed. The only safe move is silence until classification. I screenshotted the message, noted the timestamp, Thursday, 2:14 p.m., and archived it into a folder I'd used once before for contractor disputes. Irregular communications. My husband, Daniel, had a predictable Thursday pattern. Late client block. Same calendar label every week. Regional vendor sync, 4 to 8 p.m. Predictability creates credibility, which is why good lies use it. At 2:19, another message arrived. Unknown. If you check his car mileage tonight, you'll see it doesn't match his office route.
Specific.
Verifiable.
Calm.
That raised the credibility score. I still didn't answer. Instead, I opened our shared calendar. Vendor sync had been recurring for 11 months. No skipped weeks. No location field. No meeting links. No expense attachments. Real vendor work leaves document crumbs. This left none. At 5:07 p.m., Daniel texted like clockwork. Daniel, running into the vendor marathon. Phone will be spotty, love you. Affection plus pre-excused unreachability. Classic pairing. I replied normally. Me. Survive it grinning face with smiling eyes. Cover behavior preserved baseline. At 6:12, the unknown number sent a photo. Not of Daniel. Of his car. Parked in front of a brick building with a green awning and gold address numbers clearly visible. I zoomed. Not his office. Not any vendor site I recognized. Metadata was stripped, smart, but the street number was readable. I opened maps. The address belonged to a mixed-use building, boutique gym, therapist offices, 2 furnished short-term rentals upstairs. Interesting cluster. I finally replied, one line. Me. What do you want? Answer came fast. Unknown, you safe. Not your. You safe. Direct object style. Protective posture. Not extortion posture. Motivation leaning warning, not manipulation. I asked. Me, who are you?
Pause.
Then, unknown. Someone who learned late. Pattern echo phrase. Experienced, not speculative. At 8:43 p.m., Daniel came home cheerful tired. Performance fatigue, not physical fatigue. There's a difference. Physical fatigue collapses posture. Performance fatigue keeps it upright but lowers microtension. How was the marathon? I asked.
Brutal, he laughed.
3 vendors, 2 near walkouts. Impressive survival, I said. He dropped his keys in the bowl. I noticed the key fob tag, parking garage, downtown, not near his office, different color band.
I didn't react.
Observation without reaction keeps streams flowing. After he showered, I checked the car. Odometer photo from last Sunday still in my maintenance app. I log mileage for reimbursement math. Tonight's reading showed a 96-mile delta. Office round trip is 22. Vendor cluster routes, max 35. 96 means destination plus dwell. I photographed the dash. Logged the number. When I came back inside, my phone buzzed again. Unknown, you checked, didn't you? Not a question. Inference. I didn't deny. Me. Say what you're saying. 3 dots appeared. Vanished. Appeared again. Unknown. He's not at vendor meetings on Thursdays. He's with me. There it was. Not with someone. With me. Direct claim. High risk, which increases truth probability, but still requires proof. I typed. Me. Proof beats claims. Photo arrived instantly. Restaurant patio. Daniel. Across the table, a woman. Angled toward him. Familiar posture. Not first date posture. His hand on her wrist. Intimacy level mid-established. Timestamp overlay. Last Thursday. Same shirt he told me got coffee spilled at the office. I enlarged the reflection in the window behind them. Selfie angle. She took it, which meant the warning sender and the woman in the photo were the same. I wrote back. Me. Why tell me? Long pause this time. Then, unknown, because he said you already knew. Because he said you already knew. That's the kind of sentence that doesn't hurt first. It reorganizes memory first. Already knew, meaning he'd built a consent narrative somewhere, told someone I was aware, tolerant, maybe we're complicated, maybe we're basically separated. Cheaters don't just lie to partners, they pre-edit the partner for the affair. I didn't react emotionally in the chat. Emotion trains the other side how to steer you. I answered with structure. Me. What exactly did he say I knew? The typing bubble appeared, stayed, disappeared, came back longer. Editing behavior again. Unknown. That your marriage is open in practice. That Thursdays are understood. Open in practice. Language borrowed from podcasts and articles, not from our life. Me. Our marriage is not open in any practice. Read receipt hit. No immediate reply. I stood at the kitchen counter and replayed the last 6 months of Thursdays. Every one of them had the same pattern. Late meeting, light dinner after, shower immediately, phone on charger face down. Routine is camouflage when repeated enough. My phone buzzed her again. Unknown. I thought he was lying, that's why I tested it. Tested it, operational mindset, not romantic mindset.
Me, how?
Unknown. I asked to meet on a different day. He refused. Said Thursdays are safe. Safe is a scheduling word, not a feeling word. I logged that. New note file. Thursday pattern. Integrity check. Recurring meeting with no artifacts, mileage mismatch, location photo match, exclusivity to that day. Safe day language. At 9:22 p.m., Daniel came downstairs in sweatpants, scrolling his phone, relaxed. Behavioral baseline unchanged, meaning he believed both channels, wife and affair, were stable tonight. That matters. Do we have sparkling water? He asked. Bottom shelf, I said. Voice steady, not performance, actual steady. The anger hadn't arrived yet. I was still in classification mode. My phone buzzed again, new message, not text, a shared album link. Title, Thursdays. I opened it. 9 photos. Different weeks. Same building exterior. Same restaurant. Same table.
Same man.
Same woman. Different outfits. Longitudinal evidence, not a one-time claim. She'd been documenting. I downloaded originals, checked metadata, timestamps consistent with his calendar blocks, GPS stripped, but lighting and clothing continuity supported sequence authenticity. I replied, me. Why collect instead of confront? Unknown, because the first time I confronted, he cried. I almost smiled, not from humor, from pattern recognition. Tears are often deployed where facts would fail. Me, and that convinced you. Unknown. No. That scheduled me. That was a sharp sentence. She continued. After that, he controlled timing, topics, and exits. I realized emotion gave him control. Evidence gives me control. Aligned methodology. Trust score increased. Me, name.
Pause.
Then, unknown, Mara. Could be real. Could be placeholder. Doesn't matter yet. Me, what outcome do you want? Mara, truth acknowledged, not drama, not revenge. Aligned again. At 9:41, Daniel laughed at something on his screen. Reflex, not performance, which means he was messaging someone he felt safe with.
Not me.
His thumbs moved fast, conversational cadence, not email cadence. I noted it without staring. Mara sent one more message. He told me tonight you don't like details, that you prefer not to know where he is. Interesting, because my entire personality is details. Meaning he'd profiled me falsely to her, another pre-edit tactic, reduce risk of cross-check. I replied, me. Tomorrow, same building, can you show live presence proof? Immediate answer. Mara, yes. 6:10 p.m. Window table, I'll send live. Live verification offer. High credibility move. I wrote, me. Don't confront him yet. Mara, I won't. Then she added, you should know one more thing. I waited. He's been warning me about a jealous client who might contact me. Pre-discrediting the whistleblower. Classic inoculation strategy. He built a fake villain in advance, just in case truth traveled, which meant he expected leakage eventually. I closed the chat and opened my log. Added the final line for the night. Subject anticipates exposure. Narrative shield already deployed. When I went upstairs, Daniel was already asleep, or performing it, breathing just slightly too measured. I stood there for a moment and realized something important. I wasn't trying to catch him anymore.
I was trying to catch the story he was telling about me.
I wasn't trying to catch him anymore. I was trying to catch the story he was telling about me. Because that story, the one he tells the other woman, is the real operating model. Affairs don't run on romance. They run on narrative engineering. I started with the easiest verification path. What version of me existed in his messages? You can't see someone else's texts without access, but you can provoke description.
Carefully.
The next morning, I changed one variable in routine. At 10:03 a.m., I texted Daniel. Me. Hey, random, are you still at North Point on Thursdays, or did that vendor rotate? There was no North Point vendor. It was a planted name. He replied 6 minutes later. Daniel, still North Point, why? Instant adoption of false detail. Meaning he didn't expect me to know. He expected me to accept. Me. Someone asked if you were there, probably wrong. Daniel, grinning face with smiling eyes. Daniel. Yeah, wrong guy, lol. Denial plus humor, light deflection, standard. I screenshotted the exchange and added a note. Adopted invented vendor name without correction. Truthful people correct unknown specifics. Liars reuse them. At noon, Mara messaged. Still on for tonight. I won't change behavior.
Good.
Signal stability preserves clean capture. I asked one new question. Me. How does he describe me specifically, not generally? Long pause. Then a block of text. He says you're kind but disengaged. That you don't ask where he goes. That you hate conflict and prefer comfort. That you know he needs space. I read it twice. Every line was engineered to reduce her guilt and increase his freedom. Disengaged wives don't investigate. Conflict-avoidant wives don't confront. Comfort-seeking wives don't disrupt. He hadn't just lied about his schedule. He'd downgraded my personality to make cheating easier. I replied. Me. That profile is operational, not emotional. Mara, I figured that out last week. Then she added. He asked if I'd ever talk to you. That's when I knew I would. Interesting inversion, his fear created the contact. At 3:40 p.m., I ran the building address again. Deeper this time, business registry, short-term rental permits, tenant listings. Second floor unit, leased under a corporate housing provider, which means rotating access. Not a personal apartment, lower traceability, higher deniability. Vendor sync cover plus rotating rental equals premeditated pattern. At 5:18 p.m., Daniel texted. Daniel, heading into the marathon, wish me luck. Same phrase every week. Scripted language is timestamp glue. Me. Win the gold medal, first place medal. Baseline preserved. At 6:07, Mara sent. I'm here. Then live photo. Same patio. Same table. Empty chair across from her. Timestamp visible from the restaurant POS screen behind the bar. Nice touch. Independent clock source. I checked Daniel's location share. Office. Static. Meaning location spoofing or device left behind. I asked Mara. Me. Can you capture arrival? Mara, yes. At 6:16, photo. Daniel entering frame. Same jacket he wore leaving home, which I had quietly photographed at the door mirror earlier. Clothing continuity matters in disputes. Live proof achieved. No confrontation yet. Evidence first. Always. I went to the garage and checked his car because if his phone was spoofing location, his car would confirm reality. Empty space. Dash cam. Our insurance tracker. Logs ignition events. Last start. 5:02 p.m. direction. Southbound. Not toward office. Toward the patio address zone. I exported the log. When I came back inside, Mara had sent a short video. 10 seconds, Daniel sitting, leaning forward, saying something, audio unclear, but tone intimate, not business. I saved it. Then she wrote, I'm going to ask him one question. I typed fast. Me. Not accusatory, logistical. Mara, yes. 2 minutes later. I asked why Thursdays only. And then, he said, because that's the day my wife doesn't track. I actually laughed, once sharp, involuntary. Not from humor. From confirmation. Because the entire time, I had been tracking Thursdays the most. Because the entire time, I had been tracking Thursdays the most. There's a strange clarity that comes when a lie collapses under its own confidence. He didn't just cheat. He operationalized the cheating around a false model of me. That model was now evidence. I asked Mara not to push further that night. Over-questioning changes suspect behavior too early. Me. Let the evenings stay normal. Capture exit time only. Mara? Understood. At 7:52 p.m. Daniel texted me on schedule. Daniel. Wrapping up, brain fried. I checked the live album she'd shared. At 7:49, photo. Him signing a check presenter. At 7:51, photo. Them still seated. Meaning, he texted me while sitting across from her. Parallel channel messaging. Strong deception indicator. I saved both with timestamp side by side. New log entry. Simultaneous spouse/affair messaging. Verified. At 8:18, Mara sent final proof for the night. Short clip. Restaurant exit. Street clock visible. Him kissing her cheek. Not first kiss energy. Routine kiss energy. Then, he'll text you in about 20 minutes. Predictive behavior modeling useful. I asked. Me. How sure? Mara. He always buffers the drive with traffic. At 8:37, my phone buzzed. Daniel. Traffic mess. Be home soon. 20 minutes almost exactly. Prediction confirmed. Pattern reliability score high. I thanked her, briefly, not emotionally. Alliances built on discipline last longer. Me. Good work. Pause tomorrow. No new moves. Mara? Agreed. But before the thread closed, she sent one more message. There's something you should see, but not by text. I didn't ask what. People reveal higher value evidence when not pressed. That night, I shifted from evidence gathering to leverage mapping. Leverage is not yelling. It's timing plus proof plus consequence. I built 3 folders. Behavior proof, schedule proof, narrative proof. Narrative proof is the most powerful because it shows intent, not accident. Inside it I placed his false personality profile of me. Thursday is safe, quote. Fake vendor adoption text, pre-discredit jealous client script. That folder mattered more than the kiss photo. At 6:30 a.m., I tested narrative pressure. I changed one small behavior. I asked a question I'd never ask. Over breakfast, I said casually, hey, wanna swap Thursdays? I'll take a late class, you take Tuesday vendors. He looked up too fast. Too fast equals rehearse slot conflict. Can't, he said immediately. Vendor availability fixed. I smiled. Rigid vendors. He relaxed because the joke released pressure, but the speed of refusal was the data. Logged. Schedule swap. Rejected without check. At 10:12 a.m., Mara messaged again. I checked something this morning. Me go on. He told me he stopped wearing his ring because you both agreed. I looked at Daniel's ring dish by the sink. Empty for 3 months. His explanation to me had been, gym swelling. Dual use excuse. I replied. Me. He told me it was a gym issue. Mara, he told me it was a marriage issue. 2 audiences, 2 justifications, same behavior. Narrative divergence confirmed. At noon, she sent the not by text evidence. Shared drive link. Inside, screenshots. Their chat thread. Not romantic, logistical plus intimate, which is actually more damning. Lines like, Thursday is locked. She never checks. I keep home and real life separate, safer for everyone. If she ever contacts you, it's insecurity, not truth. There it was, preloaded discredit script, exactly as predicted. I exported the thread archive and hashed the files, integrity stamp, because if this escalated legally, authenticity challenges would come. My phone buzzed, Daniel. Daniel, you're quiet today. Everything okay? Risk sensing. Behavior drift detected by him. I replied warm. Me. Just busy. Boring admin storm, grinning face with smiling eyes. He sent a heart. Affairs survive on emotional bandwidth management. He was checking load levels. That afternoon, I made the decision. Not whether to leave. Not whether to forgive. When to collapse the narrative. Because once you control, when the lie breaks, you control who it breaks on. Because once you control, when the lie breaks, you control who it breaks on. I didn't want a hallway confrontation or a midnight confession. Those create noise, not outcomes. I wanted the narrative to collapse where records stick and statements hold. So, I chose structure over surprise. I booked a conference room at my office for Friday at 11:30 a.m., labeled it vendor contract review on my calendar, and invited Daniel through our shared schedule. He accepted within 3 minutes, no questions, because it matched his cover identity. Vendor work, paperwork, routine. Then I messaged Mara. Me. Ready for coordinated disclosure? Mara? Yes. I'd rather end truth than continue confusion. Aligned again. Me. Friday, 11:30. Neutral site. Recorded notes. No yelling. Mara, I'm in. Next step. Lock evidence into third-party timestamps. I forwarded the key files, mileage logs, location photos, message screenshots, chat exports, to my attorney friend and to a secure document vault that auto-notarizes upload time. Independent timestamps kill fabrication defenses. At 2:14 p.m., Daniel texted, Daniel, Friday meeting, what vendor is this? Cover story curiosity, normal. Me, compliance review, boring but required. He reacted with a thumbs down emoji. Boring lowers suspicion. Good. That evening I ran one more audit pass, financial behavior around Thursdays. Credit card filter, Thursdays, last 6 months. Pattern popped fast. Same restaurant group, different branches, rideshare charges near the patio address, parking meter app, same zone code weekly. Affairs leave expense fingerprints even when messages are hidden. I exported the statements and highlighted the repeating merchant IDs. New log. Expense pattern, recurring, aligned with meet location. At 8:02 p.m., Mara sent something new, not screenshots, audio. Short clip, restaurant background noise. Daniel's voice clear enough. No, she doesn't do surprise visits. She respects space. That's why this works. Not edited. Not clipped mid-word. Continuous ambient noise. Authenticity markers present. I stored it with waveform hash. Narrative proof strengthened again, not just what he did, but why he believed he could. At 9:10, Daniel came home, same cheerful tired performance, but added something new. You know, he said, I appreciate how low drama you are. Makes life easy. There it was, spoken version of the profile he sold Mara. I smiled. Ease is underrated, I said. He kissed my forehead. Affection without I search, meaning confidence level still high. Good. Confidence makes people walk into rooms they shouldn't. Thursday night. The last Thursday, I changed nothing. No tension. No questions. No coldness. Behavioral baseline is the bait that keeps the appointment. Friday morning, I sent one message to both, separately. To Daniel, me, bring your laptop, we'll need vendor records. To Mara, me, bring your phone, full thread, airplane mode after arrival. Both confirmed. At 11:12 a.m., I entered the conference room and set the table like a project review, not a confrontation. Printed expense pattern, mileage log, location photos, chat excerpts, audio transcript, calendar occurrence sheet. No labels like affair or betrayal, just headings. Schedule, location, statements, expenses, narrative. Because facts land harder when they're categorized. At 11:27, Daniel walked in, laptop bag, polite smile. Who's the vendor? He asked. At 11:29, Mara walked in behind him. Silence hit like a dropped glass. His face didn't explode. It drained, which is how real shock looks. Not anger, recognition. I closed the door, sat down, and said calmly, Good. Now the story only has one version. Good. Now the story only has one version. No one sat at first. Shock freezes posture before it moves behavior. Daniel looked from me to Mara and back again, not searching for sympathy, searching for the fastest exit model. There wasn't one. Sit, I said, not sharp, procedural, the way a meeting starts, not a fight. Procedure lowers theatrics. He sat. Mara sat opposite him, not beside me. Important, this wasn't an alliance performance, it was parallel testimony. I slid the first sheet forward. Header, schedule consistency, Thursday blocks. Calendar printouts. 11 months. Same time window. Same label. No vendor artifacts. He glanced, didn't touch it. I slid the second. Mileage variance. Vehicle log. Highlighted odometer deltas versus office route distance. Then, location correlation visual. Building photos. His car. Timestamps. His jaw tightened. First muscular tell. I can explain, he started. I held up one finger. Same move my attorney used. Amazing how fast it works. Explanations come after alignment. I said calmly. First we confirm facts. I tapped the audio transcript page. Not the audio itself. Transcripts feel heavier. Highlighted line. Thursday is locked. She never checks. His eyes closed briefly. Not guilt. Calculation. Mara spoke for the first time. You told me she knew, she said quietly. He turned to her, wrong move because it confirmed dual-channel narrative. I placed the chat excerpt printout between them. Highlighted. If she contacts you, it's insecurity, not truth. No denial attempt, that stage was gone. We were past plausibility into damage containment. He switched strategies. This got out of control, he said. I didn't plan. I slid the expense report forward. Recurring merchant circled. Planning is defined by repetition, I replied. Silence again, heavier now, because evidence removes oxygen from improvisation. He looked at me. What do you want? He asked. Same question pattern as every collapse point. Outcome framing, negotiation phase. Alignment, I said. Single timeline, full truth, no edits. Not forgiveness, not divorce. Truth first, decisions later. He exhaled slowly, shoulders dropped. Surrender posture, not defeat posture. Okay, he said. Good. When truth is requested before punishment, compliance probability rises. I opened a blank note page on the table tablet, visible to all, live record. Start, I said. When did the relationship with Mara begin? 8 months, he answered. Mara shook her head. 10, she said. He nodded. 10. Correction accepted. Credibility rising slightly. Did you represent your marriage as open? I asked. Yes. Did you believe that was true? No. Pause logged. Did you create a false personality profile of your wife to reduce cross-contact risk? He looked at the transcript, then at me. Yes. Language shift from denial to admission, critical. Did you fabricate vendor meetings as cover? Yes. Did you maintain physical and digital separation intentionally? Yes. Each yes tightened the record, voluntary statements, witnessed. Mara asked one question, just one, controlled. Were you ever going to tell either of us the truth without being caught? Long pause. No, he said. That answer matters more than the affair itself. It defines intent horizon. I saved the live record and exported instantly. Timestamp locked. Then I said the line that ends leverage phase and begins consequence phase. Thank you, now outcomes. He braced, expecting emotional sentencing. Instead, I slid 2 documents forward. One to him, one to Mara. Structured options, prepared earlier with counsel. Paths. Immediate separation agreement. Financial restitution share. Written deception acknowledgement. No contact terms. Evidence non-dispute clause. No threats. Just rails. He read them, slower than anything yet because paper with consequences demands real cognition. This is formal, he said quietly. Yes. Yes, I replied. Because your lie was operational. That was the moment the emotional story officially ended and the documented story began. People expect explosions at the end of affairs, slammed doors, shouted accusations, dramatic exits. What actually ends deception cleanly is paperwork and witnesses. Daniel read every page this time. Really read, not skimmed, eyes moving line by line. When people slow down, it means they've accepted the ground they're standing on. What happens if I don't sign? He asked. Then the record still stands, I said calmly. Just with fewer options for you. Not a threat. A forecast. Mara spoke without looking at him. I'm signing my side either way. Important. Independent agency. No triangle pressure. He nodded faintly, another calculation complete, and picked up the pen. He signed the acknowledgement first. Statement of dual relationship and intentional misrepresentation. Signature steady. Interestingly, shame shakes voices more than hands. He signed the no-contact terms next, mutual, symmetrical, enforceable. Then the restitution agreement, shared cost recovery for travel, gifts, and misrepresented expenses, not revenge, correction. When he finished, he pushed the papers back like they weighed something. They're heavier after truth, I said quietly. He almost smiled, reflex, then didn't. I scanned and uploaded everything to the vault before anyone stood up. Never carry the only copy of a confession. Meeting length, 41 minutes. No yelling. No insults. Maximum permanence. Afterward, Mara and I walked out together, but stopped at the lobby doors. Natural endpoint. Alliance complete. I didn't expect it to be calm, she said. Calm is what happens when evidence talks first, I answered. She nodded. Thank you for not making me the villain. He already tried that, I said. Bad data model. That earned a real smile. We didn't exchange numbers again. Some people are bridges, not destinations. At home that night, the house felt different, not emptier, clearer, like a room after inventory. Daniel packed a bag without negotiation, terms required it, and left without speeches. His final line at the door. I underestimated you. Correct, I said. You estimated a character. Not a person. Door closed. No tears came. Not yet, because closure based on proof delays emotional shock. The nervous system waits until safety is confirmed. My phone buzzed once more. Unknown number. New. Short message.
You handled that right.
No name. No follow-up. I didn't ask who it was. Because in stories like this, the last witness is often someone who almost warned you sooner, and didn't. I turned off notifications, opened my evidence folder one last time, and changed the title. Irregular Communications, Resolved Record. Because the warning woman wasn't the twist. The twist was this. She didn't steal my husband. She helped end his story. I replied, because your lie was operational.